The other week, the annual Summer Games Done Quick speedrunning charity marathon wrapped up. It was an incredible event. There were some really awesome speedruns, and they raised over $3 million for Doctors Without Borders. But in the days after the event ended, people found out that one of the speedrunners faked his run live on stream. And now Daniel from last week is gonna explain this whole thing to you. All right, folks, before we get into the video, I want to ask you to please sub to the channel and turn on notifications if you haven't done it yet. And you can head over to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/theScore esports and follow us there because we're streaming all the time and you don't want to miss a stream. Okay, so this one is kind of personal for me. I love speedrunning. I watched both GDQs every year, and I used to force everyone in the office to watch them with me every year because I was the only person who controlled the TVs back when we, all sat in the same room. And this year, I was super excited to see that for the first time since 2014, there was going to be a Metal Gear Rising Revengeance speedrun at SGDQ. Metal Gear Rising is a spin-off of the Metal Gear Solid games released in 2013, where you play as a cyborg ninja and use an electric sword to cut dudes into a million pieces. It rules. And it's been seeing a bit of a resurgence online lately, partly because it was weirdly prescient about the current political situation in America, and also because it's hilarious.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't fret over every egg.
So I was super hyped to see Mecharazium, a Russian speedrunner, run Metal Gear Rising this year. And during his initial New Game Plus hard mode run of the game, the community raised enough money to unlock another Rising speedrun, a quick shot through the game's Blade Wolf DLC on the highest difficulty setting, Revengeance. But after Mecharazium finished his Blade Wolf run, people noticed some weird things. For example, there's this clip where Mecharazium raises his right hand, notably the hand he uses for his mouse, while the camera is moving on stream. There's also the fact that his NG Plus hard mode run of the game was full of clicky keyboard noises in the background, while the Blade Wolf run was suspiciously silent. And one of the strangest things is that when the run ended, despite getting a world record, this was his reaction.
Holy kind of like a world record. Yes, but hey, can we not use the world record stuff, right? Because you see, it's very misleading, and it assumes that the video that I've done here is the fastest time, when in fact someone else could have a faster unrecorded version. Can you please use the term also known as currently best known time, with publicly available evidence created by someone else that follows the rules of the speedrunning community of a specific game that has been verified and approved by select members of the speedrunning community that has considered moderators of said game on the speedrun moderator future in the future. I believe this would lower your confusion, right?
Yeah, it was a little weird. Also, you'll notice that he said this video that I've done here when talking about his run, and remember that because we're gonna get back to it later. Anyway, he followed his bizarre anti-pop-off with this rant about what's become of speedrunning culture.
A lot of people in many communities care not about the way to make their runs good, but instead to make them run good on the leaderboard, no matter the cost. I feel empty and deranged, denied one last epiphany and ushered from the stage. We won't be meeting again, I think. Some people just want to see this world burn. Good night. There will be more godless nights.
And a few days after the run ended, anybody who was suspicious of Mecharazium's run was justified, because it turns out he wasn't playing the game live on stream at all. He was streaming a video of his best runs at each section of the DLC, spliced together to make it look like one contiguous run, which does explain the part where he called it a video on stream. Technically, he did still play the game, but he didn't play it live, and he didn't play it as one solid run. Usually, speedrunning communities like to separate segmented runs like this into their own category. He was acting out his speedrun the whole time, which is both one of the dumbest things I've ever heard, but also kind of admirable. He definitely committed to the bet.
No. Perfect. So here we're gonna aggro a couple of enemies and a dog here, which allows me to skip the fight, and if we quickly go to this panel and activate it without triggering the fight, we can easily go here. So then there's a couple of other manipulations to do. So first of all, we aggro the enemy on the right, so we make sure to parkour across him like this. And then we touch the panel with, do not kill me, I'm going to smother you if you do.
PC Games N reported that Mecharazium posted in an official GDQ Discord after the event, admitting the run was not live. In the message, he states that the Blade Wolf DLC was a pre-recorded, segmented run, but that he didn't tell anyone that during the submission process or before the stream. Apparently, it was gonna be real time, but he changed his mind last minute, which is wild to me given that he had to have a whole video prepared anyway if he wanted to do this. It seems like it was a pre-planned cheat. Mecharazium said that he did a, quote, very bad thing that he shouldn't have done, and he acted selfishly because the NG Plus run went so well and he just wanted to do something even better to top it off. Notably, Mecharazium was streaming from home. The last couple of GDQ events have seen people stream their speedruns from home because of COVID, and SGDQ was the first event where people could play from the GDQ venue again. A few speedrunners were allowed to stream from home though, and some members of the community are worried that because one person used that allowance to cheat, future events won't let people who can't make it stream from their homes. In a statement given by Games Done Quick to PC Game N, GDQ explained that they have banned Mecharazium from all future events and removed his runs from the YouTube channel. Yesterday, we were made aware that Mecharazium played a segmented video for his DLC run at Summer Games Done Quick 2022. Mecharazium has since admitted to this, both to some members of the community as well as directly to GDQ staff. He contacted our staff with a document detailing that he had planned this for over a month, demonstrating this was planned and intentional. This was made possible because of the remote nature of this particular run in the marathon. This is absolutely unacceptable and attempts to undermine the integrity of the speedrunning community that we love and support. The exact result they desired was unclear from the document, but it is clear that they believed we would not be willing to speak out about their behavior. However, we believe that it is in the community's best interest to know why this run was removed by GDQ. We have removed Mecharazium's runs from our YouTube archive and will not permit him to run in the future. Speaking to Kotaku's Ethan Gatch, Mecharazium admitted it was a scummy thing to do, but also doubled down on some of his anti-speedrun culture stuff from the end of the fake run. Mecharazium had this to say to Kotaku: "This is a taunt to every single person that watches speedrunning events and haven't asked yourself some questions. If you want to see some things change, there's always a price to pay. I am paying with my reputation of a marathon runner, a speedrunner, a commentator, and a very passionate person to make others think about the things you're ready to do in the name of said passion, so that others might change their opinion on the speedrunning as a whole." Mecharazium also spoke out on Reddit, saying, quote, "You've missed the idea of the speech at the end," instead of going "he cheated" route, which has no meaning as the run was never intended to be on the leaderboards and at least one person knew that I was doing one. I'd advise you to think a little bit out of the box and try to connect the dots to see if the speech will have more meaning to it. Not going to elaborate it any further. That Reddit thread, by the way, is full of people being angry, confused, and even upset by all this. If you boil it down, while GDQ isn't a competitive event, people are tuning in and donating money because they like watching fun speedruns. And if you find out it's all fake, then what's the point of watching? And if nobody's watching, nobody's donating to these charities, and you've kind of destroyed the whole event. Plus, speedrunning is a niche hobby in the first place. Cheating scandals can impact it heavily, either getting people not to watch or even driving people not to play.
Like, I spent 2 months of my f***ing life trying to improve myself for my run, and then you just completely f***ing the bed and ruin it for everyone.
The speedrunning community is obviously not thrilled with what happened here, and big name speedrunner Grand Pooh Bear even watched the run on his stream and commented on it.
I gotta pause this for a second. I hate when people criticize the people who run for a time on the leaderboard. You can speedrun for fun, you can speedrun for competition, you can speedrun to get a world record, and all of them are completely legit. Like, yes, there's a billion unsung heroes, and I've been the first one to talk about that. Like, I've benefited from so many other people's routing all the time. Like, yes, that's absolutely true. But like, your problem isn't with those people. Your problem isn't with speedrunning. Your problem's just with like what people enjoy watching.
Look, this isn't speedrunning's first scandal and it will not be its last. But what's really weird and damning about this whole situation is that it happened on speedrunning's biggest stage and that the guy who did it is actually good. Like, his NG Plus hard run of Rising ended with a 57:54 time, which would be the 17th best run on the leaderboard if he submitted it. Mecharazium is a legitimately good speedrunner. He's actually still the #1 ranked Blade Wolf runner in the world, with a 6:56 time submitted just a few days after GDQ. That's a second faster than his segmented run from the event. And the messed up thing is that I don't know if that run is legit or not. Like, it's absolutely possible that he's a good runner and picked up a real world record just a few days after his fake one. But it's also possible that he cheated again, and I have no way of knowing. All of his runs are going to hold this stigma forever. and potentially drag the entire Metal Gear Rising speedrun community down with him. This is why cheating is bad. Even when money isn't on the line, it destroys the integrity of a hobby that so many people love. Was he really trying to make a statement on speedrunning culture and how he thinks people are too obsessed with leaderboards? Was he really trying to bring focus to all the people behind the scenes who don't have world records? Was he trying to show what would be possible in this category with perfect human play? Was he trying to one-up his previous speedrun? Was he just trolling? It's all so weird and I have no idea. But what I do know is that he mostly made himself look ridiculous. And also, he added another clip to the endless cheating speedrunners who got caught montages on YouTube. This game is crazy, but the main villain is a US senator, and his goal is to turn basically everybody in America into a gun-toting soldier. And when you fight him, he knocks you off his giant robot platform, and he yells, "I'm gonna make America great again." This was 2013. Truly mind-blowing shit in that video game.